What's going on, everybody? This is Mason. You are tuning into the YouTube channel WASATCH POP, guys. Hope you're having a fantastic day, fantastic week. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this video. Today, guys, we're going to talk about something that I think is kind of interesting and a little bit fun. Today, we are going to compare Funko Pops that look nothing like their characters. There are a couple out there that look, I mean, like, you might be able to recognize them, maybe not. I guess it just depends on the person's opinion. But I went and I put a poll over on Instagram and over on the community tab on YouTube to see what your guys' opinions were that Funko Pops that don't look anything like the characters that they're based off of. And we got some good ones, and I think you guys are going to enjoy this quite a bit. So this whole idea started of Pops that don't look like their characters when the How I Met Your Mother Pops were announced like over about a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago. A lot of people were complaining that the character, I think it was Barney, didn't look anything really like him, which, I mean, I get it. It's kind of tough to do like human characters in pop form, but sometimes you can get some pretty good ones as far as just like looking at the molds and stuff. You can be pretty spot on with characters, but for this one, for some reason, it doesn't really look like it, and we'll compare this one for the first one. Okay, so mistake on my part. It's actually Marshall, the one that they're complaining about that doesn't really look like him. Barney, it kind of does. I mean, if you're looking at Neil Patrick Harris, he does. I mean, he's got the blonde hair and stuff. I've seen a couple of people like change it or whatever, so he has like a little rubber ducky tie. I don't really watch the show much, but I just know that a lot of people have been saying that they could be a little bit better on the molds. But as far as Marshall goes, a lot of people are saying, I don't know, it doesn't really look like him a ton, which it just looks pretty basic. I don't know. I think what you could change, a lot of people were just saying like maybe make the hair a little bit different. Maybe make, he has like, apparently he has boots that he wears too throughout like the show or whatever. And maybe that could help identify the character a little bit better. But this one isn't too bad, but we have some even worse ones that I think will be interesting to compare on this. All right, and somebody suggested that the live action Lion King Pops look nothing like their characters. And looking actually at the pictures of these guys, as far as the Pops go, I'm thinking, you know, I have seen the live action Lion King movie, and I don't think these really look anything like their characters. Like, for example, let's look at Simba, for example, from the live action Lion King. Now, for some reason in this one, they just make him look like super scary as a Pop. He's got like red eyes, which I don't think in the movie he has red eyes at all. I can't really tell what color it is, but it doesn't look red at all. He just looks like really menacing and really like evil as a Pop. It just doesn't really look like him. That's not Simba for sure. So I don't know, maybe they could have tweaked something, or maybe they shouldn't have really even made Pops for this live action series of Lion King. It's kind of tough. Another one on there that I think is interesting is Scar, which a little bit closer. The color's a little bit off, but again, it's those like red eyes. I get it, the Scar's evil, they make him look evil as a Pop, but it doesn't really look a whole lot like, you know, the live action version that it's based off of. And we could look at all the other live action Lion King characters, but I think those two are pretty good examples of not really looking like the characters that they're based off of in the live action movie. Somebody also commented and suggested Ellen DeGeneres. So if we look at her Pop, I don't know, and we compare it to the picture too. I have both of them right here. It's kind of interesting. So she looks, I don't know, there's something really weird with like the eyes on her Pop. It looks like her eyes are a little bit down, so she looks like tired, which that's not really Ellen at all. You know, she's always really excited on her show and stuff. And I think there's just something up with, I don't know if it's like the skin color or something. It just looks like kind of pale, which, I mean, I guess that's kind of Ellen a little bit, but it just, something looks off, whether it be the hair or like the skin color on the Pop. I don't know, but this just doesn't really speak Ellen to me when I look at this Pop. I mean, if I were to look at the box and say, oh yeah, I guess that's Ellen, but I don't know. I'm not really sure what they could have changed on this, but something just doesn't seem quite right with this one. Somebody did suggest as well, and this one's kind of funny. So from Avengers Endgame, they suggested the Thor in the quantum suit, which I totally agree with this, because you guys, if you've seen the movie, you know that Thor doesn't really look like that. He never wears a well, he does wear a quantum suit, but he doesn't look like this. He looks like he's a little bit like chubbier, I guess, because if you guys have seen the movie, you know that Fat Thor is definitely a thing in the movie, and he never really looked like that with his quantum suit on. Yeah, I don't know, because he had dreads in the movie too. So the whole like concept of this, when they released the Pop, they probably didn't want to spoil the movie, obviously, but maybe they could have released, you know, Thor in the quantum suit with how he actually looked, you know, how he like changed over time, had the dreads, he was a little bit chubbier and stuff. But yeah, that's actually a pretty good example if somebody suggested that to me, and I definitely agree. That doesn't really look like the character in the movie. All right, somebody suggested to me the character of Goofy. Now, if we look at the Pop, this Pop's one of the older ones, obviously. I think this is like 2011, 2012. Back then, they didn't have, you know, the capabilities. They were today as far as like intricate molds go and everything. And if we compare it to the character, I mean, colors are pretty similar. I think what it kind of suffers from is those white eyes. If you look at Goofy, Goofy doesn't have white eyes, he has black eyes. Something that they probably could have done a little bit better is maybe done like a little outline of white and then had those, you know, signature pop eyes. But I don't know, that's just my suggestion. Other than that, I think it's not bad specifically, but I think that's the only thing that kind of turns it off a little bit. Plus he kind of looks kind of like sad and depressed a little bit. If they were somehow able to make him a little bit happier, I think it would have looked a little bit better to his actual character. Comment was set in to compare Sonic to his regular character to his first ever pop. So let's take a look at this one. I actually have a picture of the pop. We're gonna take a look at what Sonic actually looks like as far as his video game character. Okay, so again, this is another case of kind of with Goofy. I don't know, they kind of made Sonic look a little menacing. He doesn't, and kind of like a little like, maybe evil kind of, but this also like Goofy, what they should have done is they should have done that white outline with the black eyes, which they did eventually with the newer molds of Sonic and stuff. But with this old one, other than that, I mean, I think the color might be a little bit darker too than what normally Sonic is. But I mean, he's got his white gloves and his red shoes, so they did a pretty good job on that part. But again, I think it's just the eye expression and the overall color of the eyes and the outline of the eyes that could have been changed to be more like the character. So somebody suggested as well NBA Pops, and I kind of actually got a kick out of this one. I did some research and I pulled the ones that I think were a little bit like, I don't know, looked a little bit like wishy-washy to me as far as compared to their characters. Some of these are the older ones, don't get me wrong, and like I said, like they couldn't do crazy molds back then. But let's start out with this one. This one's Andrew Wiggins. I mean, there's not really much to identify with Andrew Wiggins here. I mean, he's on a different team, but if we look at a picture of him, he has like dreads, and in this one, I mean, he just looks like a normal player with like, you know, just like the kind of bald, shaved head kind of look or whatever. But yeah, there's not really anything identifiable to Andrew Wiggins other than the fact that he's wearing a jersey with his number that has a name on it. I don't know. I feel like they could have they've done a little bit better with NBA Pops currently, but yeah, this one just doesn't have much detail to compare. The first ever Steph Curry is another good example as well. I mean, it kind of looks like it. The skin color looks like a little bit off. I don't know. It just looks kind of strange to me. And then like as far as his beard goes, his beard looks like a smile. Like it doesn't really look like a beard. It just looks like a mouth. And I don't know. I mean, obviously, you know, you could tell Steph Curry because of his jersey and everything, but the thing that kind of throws me off is just kind of the color of the pop, as well as that beard that kind of looks like a face or a little bit like a mouth. It's kind of weird. Another one that I found kind of funny too, Dirk Nowitzki. For some reason, his pop kind of looks like Hulk Hogan a little bit. He's kind of got that, I don't think really, I mean, he's had a beard in the past, but I don't think that's really known for Dirk Nowitzki to who he really is. I mean, they got the blonde hair, Dallas obviously, because he played his whole career there. So, I mean, you could tell it's Dirk, but there's just a couple things that are off, and I think it's just maybe that beard that makes him kind of look like Hulk Hogan a little bit, in my opinion. And then another one that I thought was pretty funny is Ricky Rubio. If you look at his pop, he's only had one made of him when he was on the Timberwolves, but his hair just looks like super off. I don't know, like the top of his head looks like super flat. Obviously he looks a little bit different now. He kind of has like a ponytail and stuff and a little bit of a bigger beard, but I think, you know, as far as limitations goes back then, maybe they weren't able to add quite those details, but just something looks just kind of off on Ricky Rubio, whether it be the hair or maybe just his facial hair or something. I don't know. So this one, somebody said the new Death Stranding pop. With Norman Reedus. He was the character, the guy from The Walking Dead. He was in this game. It was a PlayStation game. And I actually kind of agree. This doesn't really look like Norman Reedus a whole lot. If they were, I mean, obviously a lot of people probably would have complained if they were to take, you know, a head sculpt from The Walking Dead character, put it on this Death Stranding one. I mean, maybe a little bit. It just seems a little bit off to me. If you made it look a little bit more like Norman Reedus, that would probably be a little bit better. It's not a bad pop, but I think the head sculpt could have been a little bit better. But yeah, guys, that was some of your suggestions for pops that don't really look like their characters a whole lot. If there's any that you guys are aware of, let me know in the comment section below. Maybe we'll have to do a part 2 of this video because I bet there's a ton out there that I didn't see. But if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos like this one. Guys, thank you so much for watching again. You guys are the best. Remember to be kind of one another and always promote positivity, and I'll see you in the next video. Catch you guys later.